Mountain Magnets, and what up, everybody out there? So, this is DeFi Crypto and Airdrops. I am Mike, aka Veteran Crypto, and with me, as always, is Jeff, my airdrop specialist. How's it
hmm
going, brother?
Doing great, doing great. Been quite busy today, deep cleaning the apartment, giving the cats grooming and trying to, they got a flea problem, so I'm trying to work
Oh,
through that.
man.
But yeah, it's got a lot done, did some crypto stuff and ready to rock and roll. How about yourself?
Nice.
Enjoying the
Oh,
weekend?
no, I'm hanging out at my lady has a restaurant, and so I've been here helping out. So she's been making me slave away, making egg salad and boiling eggs and cooking sweet potatoes and all kinds of different
Woo.
stuff. So yeah, just staying busy.
All the goodies, all the
Oh,
goodies.
definitely. So yeah, I got our buddy Miles pulled up in the background. We're ready to do some deep diving, but those of you that didn't check it out, did our first episode with me and David on Friday, yesterday, and we might be starting to do them a little more often. I really think that these advanced strategies need some more airtime. We didn't get through what we were wanting to get through in the hour, so we're gonna have to really figure out how to do like like multi episodes on the same topic, or find a way to boil them down, or do longer episodes, because that we were talking about looping and
Mhm.
Pendle, and as you know, we've been wanting to do a deep dive on Pendle, but it's such a unique platform with the YT and the PT, um, the yield token. It basically, long story short, it breaks out the yield for the asset and makes it a separate token and yield bearing asset as the PT. That the actual, I don't know if that's what it's called, but a primary token. But it is called PT. But it allows for some really interesting DeFi plays called looping, where you can actually take the yield bearing asset, the YT, and do some really creative things with it, and actually lever up your position to where,
Mhm.
like, you can take $10,000 and you might be able to make it 50,000 or $60,000 worth of liquidity, basically doing this borrow lend
Uh,
loop, and it's just super cool. And and I'm definitely going to be using it when it comes to as I start cashing out into stables. So yeah, super excited about it.
and
But
that's safe with like the you won't hit your liquidation levels or anything by
well,
increasing like the loop that much?
I mean, you're doing it with stables, so
Okay. Okay.
they still can depeg though. You
Yeah.
need to look at the chart, because some stable coins aren't, not all, all stable coins aren't fully stable. They
Mhm.
depeg from time to time. Even USDC and USDT have, at in the past.
Yeah.
So you need to make sure that you don't take out the max loan to value. But we'll get
Right.
into that. I don't want to take up this
Okay.
episode with that. But yeah, Luis knows what's up. Luis was there watching. But yeah, it was sick. Yeah, Luis was saying, a must watch. Definitely sick.
Yeah, I
Um,
think I'm like halfway through, but I know you were
oh,
wanting to get to the Pendle stuff because that was a really complex kind of ecosystem and the way the
dude.
bonds work and
Mhm.
everything. But man, to have your assets backed by U.S. Treasury bonds and stuff like that, battle tested, time tested assets
Mhm.
that people are comfortable with holding.
Well,
So it's
well, being able to take stables and earn 20, 30, 40 percent or more on stables
yeah,
is huge. I mean,
safely, safely.
dude, I mean, to like, remove yourself, your liquidity from the volatility as you ladder out on this bull run, and be
hmm
able to earn those types of yields on stable coins, that is insane to me. So
hmm
I'm going to be doing that, as I'm laddering out, for the rest of the bull cycle, because while the volumes are there, so that I can just earn, insane dry powder for when we get the pullback, if we get the pullback. If we don't, I'll just slowly ladder back in, no matter what the market does, with massive amounts of dry powder. So anyway,
Yeah.
let's dive into
Yeah.
Pi squared. Tell me
Well,
about this. What's
let
up?
me hit up the socials first. Let's
Oh
get
yeah,
so
I
so
was
we
yammering on.
everyone for joining us here at DeFi Crypto and Airdrops, where we go live. Me and Mike go live Monday and Saturday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Mike also goes live Wednesday and Thursday with two different crews. Well, now on Wednesday as well. So
Yeah.
you got the Jake
So
Collin collab
David. So
and
we got
David.
David and Jake call for a solid alpha advanced strategy DeFi episode every
Mhm.
Wednesday, and then every Thursday we have Taylor, my brother, who is an estate lawyer and owns a title company, so commercial and residential real estate, and then we have the other Jeff, Texas Jeff,
Mhm.
who is the licensed financial advisor, the TradFi guy. So we have subject matter experts from airdrops to DeFi to legal to
TradFi.
traditional finance. I mean, we got everybody here,
Yeah.
and David actually comes from traditional finance. So
Hmm.
we have an A team of finance guys on DeFi and crypto and airdrops.
Yeah, it's awesome what we're building over here. We want to bring the most value to everyone across all ecosystems and even our brother channels here, Discover Crypto, Blockchain Basement, BitLab, and Jake Call's DeFi income page. There's got everything you would need to know what's going on in the blockchain ecosystem, the traditional markets, the crypto markets, deep degen takes, airdrop stuff. We got everything that you need at one location. Um, you can catch us on Twitter at the underscore only underscore DCA. And everyone watching on Twitter, if you want to join the chat, come over to the YouTube channel and get in the chat. Um, Vet is at Veteran for Crypto, and I am at the BCR 142. Make sure you're following the right accounts. All other accounts are spam. And we also have our Discord. We got the DeFi Crypto and Airdrops Discord, where we got all kinds of cool, fun chats, DeFi chats, and Vet's awesome library and tracking sheets to make sure you're
I
and the
actually
ladder up
updated those. I
and you
updated
updated it.
those yesterday, so anybody that was looking for those, they're in there. They're updated. Feel free. They're 100% free. We don't
Yes.
charge for anything here.
Beautiful. Yeah, get in here. We got the community's fucking blowing up, man. We got so many new
Yeah,
people, all kinds of great ideas and strategies, and just a lot of great people joining. So we appreciate all of you out there. Also, Discover Investments Group, Discover Crypto. They have their Discord. There is a free section that you can access, and Vet does a live workshop each week. What time? Oh, Wednesday, or is it?
usually I do it on Wednesdays, and then of course Josh, Drew, and Kelly are always in there doing trading. So they'll teach you trading. They'll give you entries, exits, stop losses, and I mean they're killing it in there. Josh is doing a $1,000 to a Porsche challenge, where
Mhm.
he's seeing if he can turn $1,000 into a Porsche right now.
Yeah, lot of great alpha. I mean, you can't beat it. Most of it for free too. So get in there, check us out, all the great stuff, and we love the engagement too, especially in the chats.
Oh hell
We
yeah!
love to engage in. Um, oh, who was it? I just want to shout out the Blumpkin
Oh
with
yeah
the
yeah
with the
yeah.
comment yesterday. This is the kind of shit that we like to see. Just seeing how much value we can provide you guys and it helping you. If you have testimonials or something, we should start a testimonial page just to.
We actually should. We've been getting a lot of messages lately of people with their success stories of how much money they're making in DeFi and on
Mhm.
airdrops and just crypto in general because of the content we're putting out and the calls that we're the projects that we're calling out like Plume
Mhm.
and Mamo and Aerodrome,
Yeah.
just the KTA, just all these great projects that we've been telling people for a while, and nobody else was talking about, and then now they're starting to pump, and everybody's like, oh, this great new project. It's like, yeah, we were talking about that 5 months ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We like to get in early. I like to find stuff early. And
Well, you're the king of finding stuff early when when you're farming these airdrops, because you're the one that turned me on to Plume, and a bunch of the other ones too. So
mm-hmm. And we got more coming. We got more coming, but we got Pi. Yeah, Mamo. Oh, Josh. Yeah, I got your message. I have a new phone number. So,
we'll
uh,
reach out to you, Josh. I
yeah,
promise. I got your message today too. I just been busy at the restaurant here, but
welcome back to
I'll
reality.
give you a call later tonight. And it looks like Josh is off the boat doing his piracy. So
Nice. Welcome back to land, brother. Nick
oh hell
Dunn.
yeah, Nick Dunn, what up? All right, so let's rock this. We got about 50 minutes left.
All right, we got Pi Squared. So this just came on my radar earlier this week, or this past week. I saw a lot of people kind of talking about it, and I haven't done a deep dive myself because I like to cover these for my airdrop page. But this one, I figure it's got a lot of good promises. So we can dive into this. So it's building infrastructure, basically a blockchain that fast, decentralized, verifiable, and it is the first fully decentralized Web3 infrastructure that has over 100,000 transactions per second, although Kita might crush that. Sub 100 millisecond finality, and it's verifiable by design. All that, it's just a real fancy upgraded blockchain. And backed by leading investors and angel investors, and they have about 13 million almost in funding. So, and a solid team, and they use
Yeah.
zero knowledge tech.
No, before we
So,
went live, we were picking through, and those of you that don't know, we do these cold, like these deep dives. We do these cold, so we don't do a lot of
mhm,
advanced research on these. We go through these and show you how we do our research on the fundamentals of these projects. So we want to not just spoon feed you information. We want to teach you how to do deep dives in cool projects that you find, because it's getting to the point to where people in our community are actually bringing projects to our attention because
mhm.
we're teaching them how to do these deep dives. So sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, that's perfect. And like I said, I don't do super deep dives on my airdrop channel just because I like to cover a little bit about the project, but also how to do the airdrop. But this has been fantastic because I get to do deeper dives into the team and more fundamental stuff
Well,
and
it's
get
well,
to
it's one thing. Well, it's one thing to farm the airdrop, but it's another thing to really invest in it and then do DeFi to build
mm,
a bag of it.
yeah,
It's two very different animals. So there's
yeah.
the short term farming of it, with airdrops, but then there's the long term investing of it. If you look at it and deem that it's worth it.
Worth it.
So it looks like this one, you covered the lightning fast transactions. It has cryptographic verifiability. Every claim is independently provable. Fast set ensures strong trust guarantees without compromising speed. Parallel and scalable. Forget total ordering. Fast set processes independent claims concurrently for maximum scale. All languages. Developers can write smart contracts in any language. Python,
Mm,
Rust, JS, C++, so on and so forth, and prove execution without rewriting for ecosystem specific virtual machines. So that's actually a big deal from what I understand, because it gives a much broader pool of developers that you can draw from to build
hmm.
out on your chain.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you're not limited to a specific smart contract language, if you can
Mm-hmm.
have a way for all of them to talk to each other and make it seamless, I mean that's what you want. and keeping the security as well. Because that was the problem with what the blockchain trilemma is,
Mm.
security and other. There were two others, but you can't get all three. Now, I don't know what the status of that is now with all these new modular blockchains and uh, upgraded tech, but we desperately need. And I did my interview with the
Oh, here we go.
called the chief vibes officer at
So
Sunrise.
the
So
trilemma is security, scalability, and decentralization.
decent. Okay, yeah, you can get two, but you can't get all three. Um,
You can't
but I
catch them
was
all.
in my interview earlier this week. I was talking to the head of community or chief vibes officer is what they say at Sunrise Layer, and they just launched mainnet, and that's one that we'll be doing a deep dive on
Okay.
soon. And they were saying that we were talking about the .com boom and how back then everyone was saying that there's too many websites. And I was
Mm.
like, oh shit, that's true with the similar to how there's too many layer twos or too many blockchains now. I was like, you know what? That is a good point because you're going to have companies making their own blockchains just because maybe it's just an on ramp or they want to develop a blockchain specific to what their needs are. But it's, I don't know, I feel like it's just going to happen. Every company is going to have their own blockchain that will be able to interact with others. And it might just be like every website, there's
Well, I mean,
millions of websites, but each one
that's
has a specific.
I mean that's kind of why they call it. One of the reasons why they call it Web 3. It's the next evolution of of the internet because you figure that what was it HTML. Basically when the internet first came out, a lot of you out there might not remember it. I'm an old bastard, so I do. But when the internet first came out, it was basically read only. You couldn't interact. There was no shopping. There was nothing like that. You had to know the URL of the page. There wasn't Google and things like that.
No
Um,
autofill.
no, no. So basically, you just had to know the URL, and you could go there and you could read. It just if there'd be articles and things like that, it was read only.
And
And
you had to
then
type in www dot whatever dot
exactly,
com.
no, exactly. And but then it evolved. Then you were able to actually interact and build your own websites and things like that. And then you were able to shop and do those sorts of things. And now with blockchain technology, it's going to allow us to, for instance, own our intellectual property. So, like those of us that make content on YouTube, in gaming, being able to own the, like the weapons that you buy, in game or find in game, and be able to use them when a newer version of that game comes out, or potentially, across different games. Kind of like on that, what was that, Ready Player One or whatever.
Oh yeah. Yep.
It's opening up a whole new set of functionalities for web for the web. So yeah, it's just as this technology scales and changes, there's no telling where this is going to go. But anyway, sorry.
Yep. No, a lot of good stuff, man. A lot of good stuff. So explore FastSet Wallet. So they have their own wallet, and you can go up here to products too at the top of their website. They
Hmm.
have their network wallet explorer. Um,
Well, let's
so
let's
oh,
let's hit
you can try
let's
the
hit
demo.
the team
Yeah.
and the investors, and then we'll get into the actual tech.
Yeah,
Um,
and here on the actual website, for those who are wondering, you don't see this a lot. They have the team and founder on the
mhm.
About Us, so that's nice. Um, yeah, the team, shit. The founder, Grigor Rosu, or Grigory, maybe. So he had a PhD at UCSD and joined NASA.
Holy
So he worked
shit!
on formal specification, semantics, and verification of flight and navigation software. Some of the most mathematically and technically intensive programming in existence.
Oh God.
In 2000, he started at NASA.
Damn.
So,
Founder and chief scientist of Runtime Verification Inc. Previously, he was a scientist at NASA,
mhm.
NSF Career Award for Computing Systems, the UIUC Outstanding Junior Award, Dean's Award for Excellence in Research, and several Best Paper and Test of Time awards. Grigor is an IEEE and AAAS Fellow and got his PhD from the University of California at San Diego.
God, man, talk about freaking smarty pants.
Oh, I know. Well, dude, there's just a couple that we quickly looked at before we went live. So you
hmm
got Xiao. I'm just gonna say Xiao Qin is the
Xiao
CTO.
Hong. Xiao Hong.
Zhao Hong Qin
Yeah.
is a chief technology officer, a formal methods engineer, and a zero knowledge or ZK researcher at Pi Squared. His interests include formal program specification and verification, program logic, and efficient and scalable ZK solutions. He got his BSc at Peking University and PhD at the University of Illinois. And
Bana.
the one guy that I want to get to is this freaking dude that looks like he's 12 years old.
Yeah.
Um,
Yi
Yi
Zhang.
Zhang. Yeah, it says
Yi
is
Zhang.
he's interested in runtime verification and programming languages. He worked on DARPA, Hack MS. So those of you that don't know, DARPA is basically the Defense Department's advanced research. So
Mm.
they're the ones that are making all the crazy new technology that special operations and
Weather
Army Navy.
modification.
Yeah, yeah,
All
yeah, yeah. They're doing the what was that Manchurian Candidate where they're doing
oh
giving people
yeah.
acid and yeah,
Yep.
but
Yep.
no,
Oh,
but
they created the
DARPA
internet. They created the internet.
they did create the internet.
And they
Um,
may have created they may I think they have a big play behind Bitcoin because there's a bunch of technical papers that came out since 72, I think. There's like a
mhm.
dozen. And all of them from
Talked
like
about
DARPA and
cryptography.
agencies that contribute to blockchain technology, and they all lead up to the launch of Bitcoin. So it's and
Mhm.
Hal Finney was close to some people too that had some involvement, and it's like
Well, imagine the freaking 3D chess that if the U.S. government is freaking what's his name, freaking I'm like drawing a blank, the dude that freaking made Bitcoin.
oh, Satoshi.
Yeah, Satoshi. I mean, and I'm not the first one to think of this. And it's many people have, but imagine if the U.S. government made Bitcoin. All of those wallets that hold all that Bitcoin, they have access to, and they're just waiting for everyone to freaking fully adopt it. It becomes a part of the global financial system, and then all of a sudden they're just like, cha-ching, freaking, and they just, they're able
Backdoor.
to all of our debt, the U.S. debt is just gone because now we have hordes of Bitcoin,
Yeah.
and it's worth $1 million a piece. You know what I
Oh my
mean?
god.
So yeah, that guy looks like he's freaking 12, but
Yep.
I guarantee you he's smart as shit if he's working at DARPA.
hmm
Um, Head of engineering, Dwight Guth has his BS in computer science and mathematics from Purdue. His MS thesis is related to a formal semantics of Python 3. I don't know. Well, I don't want to spend too much time on these, but a bunch of really smart sons of bitches
Yeah.
are running this. Let's just leave it at that and move on to the funding. Do you want
Yeah.
to take up
A
the
lot. A
funding part?
lot of. Yeah. So, oh, where did it go? Oh yeah, the funding. Yeah. Kill switch. Yeah. Well, there.
Switch engage.
Who was it? They were talking about there is like some sort of backdoor uh, in the Bitcoin code. Nick Dunn, A0X. No, I think he was talking about the funding. A0X.
No, No, A0X. He keeps wanting me to talk about it, and I keep not being prepared to talk about it. So I'm sorry, Nick. I promise. Maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow's usually my day off. Since I keep telling you I'm going to talk about it and I don't, I'm going to punish myself, and I'm going to sit down. I'm going to look at A0X or AOX, and I'm going to do a freaking show on it. I promise you, brother.
Yeah. So, oh yeah, Michael Saylor would have a fit, man. Shit.
All
Would
right.
that
So
technically give them the right? Would they technically own Bitcoin, the U.S. government, if
well,
that?
technically, isn't it like whoever owns the majority of it can basically rewrite it or can modify it?
The network. If
Yeah.
you control the network, not actual. If they owned
Oh, okay,
Bitcoin,
okay.
yeah.
Gotcha. I was
I
just
didn't
wondering
because if they
if
could
somebody
confiscate
owned.
it.
Well, I just wondered if somebody owned like the majority of Bitcoin. Well, they wouldn't. They, like even if they could do that, whoever owned the majority of Bitcoin wouldn't do it because if you confiscated it all, then
Uh,
basically okay, you have it all, but then everybody's
Nobody.
just like, okay, we're not going to use it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
You
like
shoot yourself in the foot.
exactly. So,
Yeah. So
uh,
funding, we got almost 13 million. Polychain Capital, Robot Ventures, Samsung Next. I don't know what ABCDE, Generative Ventures. Oh, and where is it at? Yeah, right here. Um, they got the angel investors as well and advisors. So Sriram Kanan, CEO of Eigenlayer, um, which does a whole liquid restaking on Ethereum.
they
That
got
was
the
a big one.
Tezos Foundation,
The Tezos Foundation. Oh yeah, investors. Where's Tezos, Wave Digital,
then Bushi
Hypersphere?
Capital, Borderless, Block
Yeah,
Block
Accelerate.
Accelerate,
Wagme
Block
Ventures.
yeah, Wagme.
Okay.
No,
Oh,
there's some decent backing.
they have a LinkedIn page too, where they have, I guess, job openings. Let's see if anyone's. Oh, none right now. They have 11 to 50 employees. I mean, just the people on the team right here is like, I think this is the whole team. So
All
yeah,
right.
they
So
really
they were
doxed the whole team.
well, and I went to their YouTube channel, and they looks like they were at ETH Denver.
Oh,
Um,
let me
so
pull it
on
up.
stage at ETH Denver, we explore how Pi Squared will eliminate fragmentation in Web3 by enabling developers to write smart contracts in any programming language. We demonstrate our verifiability stack, which includes our verifiable language machine, a verifiable settlement layer, and our verifiable consensus protocol. Together, they ensure verifiable execution, high speed consensus, and Web3 access for millions.
Of developers and AI agents. That was the last of
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
So their universal settlement layer has now been renamed to verifiable settlement layer. And universal language machine is now renamed to verifiable language machine. That's interesting. Yeah, really cool. And you can see, oh, so they got the founder talking. So they're putting up some videos. Blockchains versus fast set. So yeah, when you got the founder, putting up videos of himself, that's good to see.
Dude, this is weird. So I just clicked on careers on Pi Squared freaking website.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. I mean,
General interest application.
oh, never mind. Like freaking, I clicked on it and freaking DARPA popped up. I was like, what the hell? What the hell?
Here.
What the hell?
Damn, they're tapped into you, man.
No. I was thinking that maybe like they were freaking like DARPA had some sort of freaking like piece of
Inside.
this or something. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
uh, So there's
Invest.
general interest application. I don't know what. Uh,
Actually, you know what? Let me bring our boy Miles up. I want to ask him a couple questions.
bring up the Miles. What's up, Miles?
Hey, things are pretty chill over here.
Hey, Miles, how's it going?
Not bad, just processing. It's kind of weird, honestly,
All
being
right.
here and nowhere at the same time. But
So Miles,
hey,
me and Jeff are live right now, and we're talking about Pi Squared Network. Are you able to see that? Any information on it on the internet?
pi squared. Hmm. Let me dig around. Yeah, okay, seeing some stuff. It's a relatively new modular layer 2 for Ethereum focused on private transactions using ZK rollups, right? Seems like they just launched their testnet a couple weeks back. Anything specific you're hoping I can pull up while you're live?
Yeah, what we're trying to do is we're trying to do our usual check on fundamentals. So the team looking at investors, looking at the use case, just all of the things that love to dive into before we get decide if we're going to get interested in the project and actually start investing in it. So if you could, can you just give us a really quick summary of some of those things that I just mentioned? And maybe some other pertinent information that you can find on this project.
Gotcha. One, speak to Zog fundamentals check. Always a good move. Okay, so team, it's pretty interesting. Founded by a couple of ex Meta engineers, I'm seeing. The CEO, Blake, has a solid background in scaling
All right,
infrastructure.
hold on. Yeah.
Uh,
Oh,
Hey,
might
Miles.
be looking at Pi Network.
Yeah,
huh?
you might be looking at Pi Network. We're looking at Pi Squared Network.
Uh, my bad. Pi squared, right?
Yep.
Not Pi network. Ugh, okay. That's embarrassing. Sorry about that.
No, all
I'm
good,
still
man.
getting, right? Pi squared network.
Yep.
Okay, let's try this again. Team, they're pretty stealthy, honestly. Not a ton out there publicly.
So
A core team with,
I'll give you a couple of the names just to dial you into the proper website, Miles. So the co-founder and CEO is Gregor Rosu. The CMO is Lindsay Casale. The head of engineering is Dwight Guth, and the chief architect is Yi Zhang. Can you see what website I'm talking about now for Pi Squared Network?
I got it. Gregor Rosu. Okay, yeah. And now I'm seeing the right site. pi2.network. That helps a ton. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
My apologies for that initial mix-up. It's kind of like when you're trying to remember a name and a similar one just pops into your head. Okay, digging into those names now. Okay, so Gregor Rosu has a background in applied cryptography and previously worked at Layer Zero. Lindsay Casale, good marketing background. Seems to have worked with a few Web3 projects. Dwight Guth, looks like a solid engineering background, experience with distributed systems. Yi Zhang, the chief architect, seems to be the brain behind a lot of their technical decisions, with a focus on ZK proofs and privacy tech. They're pulling from some pretty good places, it seems.
What other projects has this team worked on that have been both successful and that maybe have not been successful?
Okay, that's a good question. Going beyond just current roles. Hmm. Tracing back, remember, tracing back Gregor Rosu's connection to Layer Zero is the most prominent one. Layer Zero's done pretty well, obviously. Before that, it's a bit harder to pin down concrete, large scale projects he was directly involved with. Lindsay Casale has had some involvement with a few smaller cap projects that didn't exactly take off, to be honest.
Okay.
Nothing massive failures, just projects that didn't gain much traction. Dwight Goth worked at a few different tech companies. Nothing blockchain related that really stands out. Yi Zhang seems to have spent a lot of time in academic research before this, focusing on zero knowledge proofs. So, less successful project and more laying the groundwork for future success. You know, it's a bit of a mixed bag, leaning towards a lot of strong individual backgrounds, but not a ton of fully realized large scale exits yet.
So Yi Zhang, the chief architect, it says that he worked at DARPA, the Defense Department's Advanced Research division. Is there anything that you can find online that might give us a little bit of insight into his time there, and maybe what kind of projects did he work on?
Okay. DARPA, that's interesting. Let me see. Finding specifics is tough, unsurprisingly, given the nature of the work. But, okay. I'm saying he was part of the agency's secure computation program. The goal of that program was to develop technologies for privacy preserving data analysis. It was focused on things like secure multi party computation and, you guessed it, zero knowledge proofs. Looks like he was specifically working on developing faster, more efficient ZK proof systems. It's a bit technical, but basically his time at DARPA was directly relevant to what Pi Squared is trying to achieve. It definitely adds a layer of credibility, you know? It's not just academic research, it's applied it within a pretty high stakes environment.
Is there any indication that the work that he did there has been used? And if it has, it hasn't been used successfully.
That's a really good question. It's tricky. DARPA projects often feed into broader defense initiatives, so it's not always public knowledge how specific research gets applied. I'm seeing references to some of his work potentially influencing the development of secure communication protocols for the military, but it's heavily redacted.
Okay.
As for whether it's been successful, defining that is tough in that context. Some
Where
of the theoretical framework.
where is Pi Squared? Where are they headquartered at?
Okay, good question. That's another one that's a little hazy. They're registered as a limited liability company in Delaware, which is pretty standard for these things.
Hmm.
But their team is pretty distributed. Seems like they have people working remotely from all over.
Okay.
There's a strong presence in the San Francisco Bay Area, judging by like LinkedIn profiles. But
LinkedIn says Champaign, Illinois.
no single official HQ location, which isn't
So
necessarily a
so
red
Jeff
flag.
Jeff says that on LinkedIn it says that they're in Champaign, Illinois. Is that the whole team, or is that just where they are?
Oh,
Um,
headquartered.
they are, or where they're actually headquartered?
Oh, interesting. Champaign, Illinois. Let me double check that. You're right. LinkedIn does show a significant number of team members listing Champaign as their location. It looks like they might have a smaller office or co-working space there. It's
Hmm.
possible it's where Yi Zhang, the chief architect, is based, given his connection to the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. So it's likely not the sole headquarters, but seems to be a key hub for the team.
All right.
Bit of a sneaky detail, right?
It
Doesn't
is.
scream.
It is. So my next question would be: is there anyone that is currently building using their tech?
Okay, let's see. That's a key indicator, right? As of right now, it's a bit early. They've only just launched their test net, so there aren't a ton of publicly announced projects building directly on Pi Squared yet. They are listing a few partners who are exploring integrations on their website, a couple of DeFi protocols, and some privacy-focused apps. But most of those are still in the early stages of development. Looks like they're actively courting developers and offering grants to encourage adoption, though. It's a bit of a chicken and egg situation. You need developers to build, but developers want to see existing projects and know there's an ecosystem.
All right. Well, I have one last question, and then I'm going to open it up to Jeff. But can you explain to us this technology? What would be its use case? What is the most likely way that this project would be used? Is it more DeFi, financial? Is it more than that? What is it that they're trying to accomplish here?
Okay, big picture time. Essentially, Pi Squared is aiming to bring privacy to DeFi. Right now, most DeFi transactions are fully transparent on the blockchain, which is great for auditability, but not so great if you want to keep your trading activity private. They're using ZK rollups, which is kind of a complicated technology, but basically allows them to bundle a bunch of transactions together, prove their validity off chain, and then post just a small proof of that validity onto the Ethereum blockchain. So that way, transactions are secure and verified, but the details of those transactions remain hidden. Most
Mhm.
likely use case, probably private decentralized exchanges and more complex DeFi applications where users want to avoid front running or having their trading strategies copied.
Okay.
It's also applicable to. Okay, perfect.
Awesome. I
Jeff,
appreciate
over to
it.
you.
Hey Jeff, you got any questions for Miles?
No, I mean that was great.
Happy to help
It's
whenever you
really
need me.
great insights because he's able to just accurately pinpoint these use cases and stuff in just a faster way than we can deep dive and form our own opinions and
No, no, and like that's why I love using him so much. Is we can kind of start doing the digging so that we know enough about it to call him out whenever he like everyone saw just now. There's another project that we did a deep dive on not too long ago called Pi Network. So this is Pi Squared Network. An easy mistake to make, especially for an AI. And so, we like to make sure that we, do a little bit of, digging on our own, but then, we bust out the big guns
Mhm.
and, let him, because he can. Miles can scour the whole internet and find things that might have taken us hours, to find. So, anyway. All right. So where are we going next? What are you thinking, brother?
So we got the team, the what they're building, the funding, and yeah, it seemed
Mm-hmm.
like quite a bit of the team went to um, University of Illinois in Champaign. So it kind of makes sense. They might have all gotten together and said, "Hey, let's build this." um, but they do have their product available. Well, their wallet. I guess they're um, kind of a test net. I guess is just like a demo. Yeah, it's a
Mm-hmm.
vanity wallet. It's not really anything that you need to write down because I guess if you open up multiple browsers, this wallet in multiple browsers, uh, it's different. So it's not anything you need to save because there's a private key and stuff. But I guess just going through and testing out this wallet interface and sending tokens between wallets. There's assets right here that you can send across. So that's really about it for the test net. Um, and they have a full guide right here on how to do that. But I mean, it sounds like there's no projects building on it yet because it's very, very new.
Yeah, it looks like August 12th in their blog introducing FastSet pre-release. Get an early look at FastSet, the first fully decentralized Web3 infrastructure that delivers 100,000 plus transactions per second, sub 100 millisecond finality, and is verifiable by design. So it looks like that you can get a look at it. FastSet to blockchain or not, July 28th, a surface dive into what FastSet is, but mainly what it is not. July 15th, looking back at the VSL DevNet and what comes next. Read what the team achieved and learn from the VSL DevNet and also what's to come with FastSet and the next evolution of our verifiability stack. All right. So yeah, it looks like there's some pretty good. I mean, if you're into reading about tech stuff, Pi squared integration with EigenLayer. Pi squared and EigenLayer are revolutionizing multi-language execution and settlement for dApps. What else we got? Okay, and Wormhole, revolutionizing blockchain interoperability. Insights from Pi squared and Wormhole. So they have a paper on that Pi squared integration with Wormhole NTT. So it looks like they're integrated with Wormhole, which gives them the interoperability.
Uh, With the Solana ecosystem too, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So yeah. So
oh shit.
this
Okay.
this is actually looking interesting. I don't necessarily think it's something that I'm going to ape into, but definitely something that I'm going to put on my watch list.
Mm-hmm.
But there isn't a token out right now, so I can't ape into it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, shit. They just got the wallet set up to interact with. So, uh, yeah, and you can see you just put the address, the wallet address that you want to send to, and I have two different wallets set up right here. But all you got to do is just click on the link right here, wallets.fastset.xyz, and create your wallets. And you can send assets across. I mean, it's nothing really incentivized right now, so it's just kind of playing around. But yeah, super early. And the team is just phenomenal. If they can come together and actually execute on this, that would be fantastic.
Well, and I'm always careful because I mean, one, I'm not like a super tech head. I mean, I definitely know about tech and things, but not at a super deep level. So I'm always super cautious. When projects try to make their tech sound super sexy, because to be honest, a lot of it that they say goes over my head. That's kind of why I'm glad that I found Miles, because he's helped me immensely, and and you, Jeff, with understanding a lot of this stuff. But it's important that we understand that the best tech doesn't always win. Um, there's I mean a good example is was at first Yahoo. Yahoo, as was a search engine, and it really wasn't that great. It was just the first, like the first one that really gained traction, and it had a catchy name. Everybody was like Yahoo, 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 and so everybody was using it. And then Google came along, and everybody's like, "What the frick is Google?" I mean, what does that even mean? And Yahoo just got so weird with all the ads and the news, and they cluttered up their homepage. And Google was just clean and neat and user friendly. Didn't have a bunch of pop ups and stuff like that. It's the same thing that happened with MySpace.
Oh
MySpace
yeah.
before Facebook, MySpace was huge, and then they got too crazy with the pop-ups and the ads and all that stuff. And
Get your
Facebook
top
was just
top 8 friends or whatever that like
yeah,
all.
yeah, just and then here came Facebook, and it was just clean, simple, and they took over the market share.
Hmm.
So you need to make sure that even though something might be a sexier tech, institutions a lot of times are slow movers. So, they might have invested a bunch of money in building on an older tech, and they don't want to, take that hit. And so they just roll with that older tech. So, a shiny new tech isn't always a guarantee, I guess is what I'm getting at, of, a successful project. So that's why we do these deep dives into a broad range of fundamentals. The team, the tech,
Mm-hmm.
the use case, who they're partnered with, who's actually building on them is a very big one. If any, have they gone live with whatever that they're building out? You know, how successful has it been? Adoption. Again, they could build a super sexy app, but if nobody's downloading it, nobody's using it, nobody's adopting it, it's worthless. So, these are the things that we try to do during these episodes, is to peel back the layers and find out, is this a fundamentally solid project, or is it smoke and mirrors, or is it a team that is building out something they're going to rug pull, or or claiming that they're going to build something to get a bunch of investors, launch a token, milk it for all the money they can, and then just disappear. It's like, like I said, a lot of these projects that we look at, the team isn't doxxed, which for me is a huge red flag. If
Hmm.
anybody's out there listening and you're part of a project where you're not doxxed, or you're going to start a project and you're not doxxed, to investors
Good
and to
luck.
people, yeah, good luck. Especially serious investors, because
Hmm.
yeah, they don't want somebody hiding. You need to be proud of your product. You need to believe enough in your product that you're willing to dox yourself.
Yeah. Now, one thing is the XRP chain link Swift system upgrade.
Hmm.
So I don't remember who it was that was talking about if Chainlink can upgrade the Swift system, then why would anyone want to use XRPL or XRP for to
Well,
replace that?
Chainlink is an oracle. It's for interoperability. It isn't really for cross-border payments or anything like that.
Right. I
is
thought they
my
were
was
working on
that?
something. I thought they were working on a way to upgrade the Swift system, and someone was talking about that. Uh,
Maybe Swift was working on something, and they were going to use Chainlink for the interoperability aspect.
mm,
I could be wrong. It's just, but I haven't heard of anything. But I mean, you've heard me talk about XRP and stuff like that. It's not necessarily a bad project, and they definitely have first mover advantage. But with projects like KTA and Key and a lot of these other ones that are coming out, I honestly don't think that Ripple and the XRPL is going to be the only game in town.
hmm
And anybody that thinks that Ripple is going to corner the whole market is not paying attention. There's way too many countries and banks and it's just all around the world, and projects like Chainlink that and Wormhole that allow interoperability make it to where these different projects can all work in unison. So, and then, basically the same way that the internet worked, where, over time, you're going to see that the best tech is going to rise to the top, and more people are, like Amazon, like Facebook, like, like anything out there where they take, a good solid part, of the market share, Google, it's inevitable. It's just people just gravitate to whatever is easy to use, is, cheap to use, is secure. It has a guaranteed outcome. It's just the way the world works. People want fast, easy, cheap, and if you can offer that to them, whatever it is, that's how Amazon got so big. They
yeah.
deliver to your front door, they guarantee that it's going to get there, or you get your money back, and you can order freaking anything, and get get it for a decent price. I
Yep.
mean, they cornered the market with that, and it's just how it works. And there's issues with the XRPL. Um, it's just it's not. When they first started with that use case, it was light years ahead of Swift. The problem is again, you have, and this is only the couple that we've done deep dives on, but Key and Kita,
Mhm.
it can process over 14 million transactions per second. That is insane. And it has, like, embedded in it, integrated into it. It has KYC, so which
Yeah.
is know your customer. It has AML, anti money laundering. It's modular, so it's fully upgradable. And, while it's live, they can upgrade certain aspects of it while it's live. They can, what else? What else? I think it has ZK rollups integrated into it, so it would basically give that a privacy layer.
hmm
Um, what else am I forgetting?
I mean, Google just talked about them in one of their
Well, the Google
articles I saw,
co-founder,
right?
The Google
Oh yeah,
CEO.
he's part of the team.
Yeah, the Google CEO was freaking part of the. It was not part of the team. He's given 20 million so far to
Oh,
the
the
project.
backing.
Yeah,
Shit.
he's backed it, and Google just talked about just tweeted about Kita Network the other day. So it's
They're
you
comparing
really
it to Solana. Like I
yeah.
remember when Solana was under $10,
Mhm.
and I had some in the last bull run, and I sold it before it hit 20, and I was like, I've moved it to something else, and then I see it just fucking rip, and I
Yeah,
was like, God damn.
yeah.
So yeah, start building your bag of KTA because that's
I am.
a golden goose too, and Plume. I mean, Plume is just crushing it with the TVL and
Oh, dude.
stuff.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, if you're looking at price, Plume is not going to wet your whistle. But
but
if you
earning
look
on
at,
it,
well, yeah,
it's
no, that, I
crazy.
mean, our community. I mean, I know me personally. I started with $800, and I have over like $7,000 or $8,000 worth of Plume now. So I've 10x'd my Plume holdings just by using DeFi, and the price hasn't even moved yet.
Mm.
And I mean, you have Nest protocol that's RWAs, tokenized real world assets, but you can already can invest in tokenized real world assets. So like U.S. Treasuries, offerings from BlackRock, Invesco, Hamilton Lane, UBS, the bank. I mean, just a bunch of organizations, like massive, global organizations, are already building and have launched on Plume Network. You can go to the Plume portal on your own and look. Actually, you know what? I'll go to it because I need to do my spin.
Yeah, and the badges too. I mean, they got a whole
Oh
very
yeah,
engaging
I'm farming.
ecosystem here. Yeah, I'm gonna do my spin real quick.
Let's see, what do we got here?
Yeah, to earn on Plume like that, I mean, it's perfect because it goes sideways. You know, at least right now. Holy shit! I'm just and now that they have the mainnet launched, I don't have to worry about fees on Ethereum. Thank
Yeah,
God.
yeah. No, I bridged all of my liquidity off of Ethereum mainnet over to Plume mainnet, and so glad I did. So you can go to this Explore tab, and you can see there's Nest Morpho. I did a video the other day where I basically peeled back and found I mean, it wasn't hard, but I found the connection where basically it bridges liquidity from base network, to Plume network, back and forth through Morpho. So you can invest in Morpho on through the Plume portal, and with
Mm.
your Plume assets like Plume stablecoin, PUSD, that's backed by USDC. The Plume token. It's wrapped Plume, a bunch of different stuff. Ambient. I mean, I've been earning 100, 200% or more APY, providing liquidity on Ambient. There's just a bunch of different things that you can do. Royco, on stable coins, you can earn 15%. I've actually started dialing in ways that you can loop, using different protocols on Plume to like a borrowing and lending loop, so you can lever up. So that's what I'm going to be doing with my Plume as I'm taking profits into PUSD. Is I'm going to be looping, within the Plume ecosystem.
Oh,
You can see here. This
killer.
is this is where I'm farming for the. Hopefully, I get a bunch of freaking Plume on this season two.
That 12K right now, I think. Is it, what does it say?
Yeah,
13?
15.
15K.
Unfortunately, I broke my streak. So,
You got
damn Apple tickets.
12 days. I think maintain a 12-day spin streak.
All right. I will put it on the Apple Vision Pro.
That Lego Porsche looks pretty cool. That's cool.
So yeah, you can win. You can win a Porsche.
Yeah, I don't think you can drive it.
No, no.
Although
And then
there is
the
Lego, I forget some Lego car that I saw that's drivable. Looked pretty cool.
So yeah, I mean, so this is Royco. Where and this is where I'm doing. This is part of my looping strategy. But you can see, like with wrapped plume, you can earn 40% in basis. A lot of these, somewhat delta neutral positions in basis, in alpha. Let's see what else. In credit, these are all basically tokens that you buy on Nest, and you use stables to buy these. And what they are is they're baskets of real world assets. Actually, you know what? I'll go to Nest real quick just so I can show you what I'm talking about. I know that we've shown this.
Safe, safe, secure. Um, and when they're
Invest.
backed by stuff like that, that makes you much more bullish.
So this is some of them. So you have like Carlyle Group, you have BlackRock, Apollo, Centrifuge, PayPal, Paxos, Goldfinch, Credible, Midas, Superstate. I mean, the list goes on. But this one right here, this in alpha, well, you have institutional grade yield from U.S. Treasuries. This Nest Institutional Vault, you can earn 12% on, and you can open it up, and it's corporate bond ETFs, senior secured debt, fixed income ETFs, and money market funds. So basically, traditional investments that are relatively stable. They're not as volatile as crypto, but because they're tokenized, they're liquid. So you can come in here, you can invest in this, earn 12%. So this Nest Institutional Vault is the NINSTO. And then you can come over here to Royco. And I don't know if they have anything for that asset yet, but you can see that like there's this in credit. So you can buy in credit over here on Nest. And let's see what in credit earns. So in credit, you earn 7%. So I can deposit a stable coin into here, buy this, earn 7%, come over here to Royco, and then I can come down to this deposit in credit into Royco, earn another 10%. So now I'm, like around 15, 16% that I'm earning. And then this, I put in credit in. What do we get here? And then it looks like it pays out in wrapped plume and more in credit. And so this wrapped plume that I get paid out in, I can, is, obviously a volatile asset, but I can take that and I can actually use that to do it all over again. I can sell that and into PUSD or USDC, buy more in credit, come over here to Royco, deposit it, and just keep doing that to where I keep levering up and and earning more than if I just did any one of these positions by itself. I hope that made sense.
Yeah. No, it's great alpha, man. Great alpha because it's definitely. I don't see a lot of people taking advantage of the Plume ecosystem, and with the price where it's at, there's so much you can do, and just start stacking, man.
Yeah. So, well, all right, brother. I mean, I guess that's our hour. I
Yeah,
probably better get going. I need to help close up the restaurant here. But
get your
yeah,
cleaning duties.
yeah, oh yeah, I gotta sweep and mop, and she'll put me to work, I'm sure. But hey, you know what? I appreciate all you out there. Those of you that show up, every Saturday, Monday, and every time we go live. Rick
Mhm.
Romero, Rick Dunn, Stan,
Man.
Josh, Luis. just everybody in the chat, Mountain Magnets, and everybody out there watching on X and Rumble. If you want to join the chat, we definitely enjoy the questions in the chat. Didn't look like anybody had any questions this time, but
Ricky did, just about Moonwell being so undervalued. I think a lot
oh,
of stuff is.
yeah, right now, yeah, I'm not paying attention to the prices of things because honestly, what I see is price suppression. Anything that is a good
Yeah.
project right now is really being the price is being suppressed so that institutions and big money can buy cheap. Because Moonwell, Mamo is using it. It's on base. It's going to be part of the new base app. It actually already is. It's already on Coinbase. A lot of the DeFi opportunities that are on Moonwell, Morpho, Mamo, Aerodrome, all those base plays are all going to be a part of that. So the money is going to come. Price is going to come. It's you just need to be able to take the time and have the discipline to watch shows like ours and use tools to do your own deep dives and do your own research and ensure that you're investing early in good solid projects. So with that, Jeff, I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate
Appreciate
everybody
you,
out there.
all you guys.
Appreciate the couple hundred people that are watching live. And until next time, Veteran Crypto out.
Peace.